What's going on, everyone? I am Joe Siegel, founder of Greenlight Financial Group, where we do CFO advising on a fractional level for online-based businesses. Today, I actually wanted to shoot a video that's a little bit different. Obviously, I can talk about numbers for days, revenues, how to increase your cash flow, and how to optimize your spending. But I wanted to talk about AI. I know the word, it's everywhere. But I wanted to just show something cool. Today I actually made a website. Actually, I made it in about 1 to 2 days. I made an AI-based website from start to finish using Claude, Manus, and Webflow. These are the only 3 things I used. And then I used some websites that as an examples and stuff like that. So today I want to talk you through how I use that, show you a clip of me scrolling so you can see the website. I'll give you the link to it as well. I'll show you some of the prompts I gave in Claude. But I think it's really cool. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this today is there is so much technology at our fingertips, and a lot of people aren't utilizing it. We often think in the most simplest forms that we need to find ways to spend more money on ads or find ways to decrease our spending by letting go of someone on our team or whatever those types of things are. In reality, there are simple things that we're already good at as content creators or businesses in general, which is understanding how to sell our product, but knowing how to actually put those techniques, those words, or those skills into something that we're not good at is very challenging for us. I'm not an HTML person. I do not know how to write code or design websites. And then you'll see this and you'll think to yourself, wait, he created this on his own? And the answer is yes. So I'm going to tell you now how I did this so that you can understand how to apply this for yourself. It is very easy to use. And I promise you, the only limitation you have is your ability to give it time and understand how to prompt AI, which I'll talk about some cool techniques with that as well. So let's get into first how I did this, and then I'll walk you through some of the design things that I did as I'm going on the page so you can understand what I did. So first, I found a client or about 3 clients who have beautiful websites that I already know of. And I went to Manus, which is, I think, owned by Facebook now. Manus is very different than most other softwares out there in that it can actually log in and act as an agent for you, kind of like OpenClaw is, where you begin to give it access and it will use your computer to do those things. If you don't know what OpenClaw is, check it out. It's unbelievable. Personal AI assistant that can do anything you need it to do. I highly recommend it. It's super technical. If you feel that the technicality of that is something that you're going to struggle with, Manus offers their own version of the same exact thing. They probably use OpenClaw, who knows? But Manus offers it. The difference with Manus is it's a credit-based purchase system. It can get very expensive if you want it to. It can get out of hand, right? It's very easy to buy the credits. The system of how their credits work are very limiting as to understanding how they determine how many credits are used for different things. Manus is phenomenal, though. I think I've used it to create bots to perform functions for me. It is absolutely incredible, okay? So I used Manus because Manus will go to YouTube and watch videos, go to the websites and skim it and learn from the websites. Claude and ChatGPT don't necessarily do that as easily. These are the 3 that I'm going to be talking about. So Manus is great as a tool for that process, right? Being able to say, hey, go to this website, see how it's designed. Can you copy the HTML and basically use my website? Here's my website link. And let's rebrand it and figure out how it could look. Cool. So that's what I did with Manus. I used Manus and said, here are website links. Here are the things I like from them. And I want to be able to put them into HTML and I want to be able to use it. What would the best way to do that? And it advised me to use a website called Webflow. Apparently Webflow has a great connection for AI-based designing. And me, again, I was using Squarespace before. Squarespace is kind of dummy proof. It's great maybe for an initial setup. Of course, it's going to have its limitations. And what I found was that in order to use AI to adjust it, it just wasn't going to work, right? You could use an agent that's going to go onto the website and act like a human and try to do all the things that it can do, but that has extreme limitations, right? OpenClaw can do that. Manus can do that, but like I said, having a robot go on and actually like click on the screens, it has to learn and read the screens like colors and differences to be able to understand where it thinks it's supposed to click. So it can figure that stuff out, just it's hard for it. Having ones that actually directly connect to an AI-based person like Claude has an MCP connection to Webflow, meaning it can directly have access to the server and design on it is huge. And that's why I chose Claude. And that's why I chose Webflow. So Webflow recommended by AI. All of this is being done with AI's help. So Webflow was recommended to me, so I purchase it. I think the cost of it was $28 or $18 for the website and $28 for if you want to add multiple websites. So let's call it roughly 35 bucks just to be safe, right? Probably right around, you could probably get away with just paying for the $18 purchase for your website, okay? Manus being the credit-based system, you could probably only need to use maybe $50 worth of credits, maybe, to do what I initially prompted it to do. So it initially created the whole HTML download from using my website. So I said to it, here's my website, here's my copy, here's my color combinations, here's my logo. Now take that stuff and let's create a website similar to these other ones with these attributes. And these are what I really like. And it said, cool, awesome. So then it went into Webflow and began to pre-set up a lot of that stuff. Awesome. And then it said to me, I'm going to have limitations now. This is where you're going to need to go to Claude and advise Claude to clean up and fix things from there. So I went into Claude. You actually have to connect this server. I would highly recommend paying for their max plan. You're going to probably need it. The max plan is $100, okay, per month. If you think about what it costs to pay someone to design your website, that's going to be pretty significant. $100 to do something that only took me 2 days to build. Again, as a guy who's familiar with AI, but let's say you're not familiar with AI and it takes you 2 weeks to build it. I have clients who paid up to 15 grand for professionally designed websites, right? Who pay people 5 grand a month to make funnels and landing pages that they use custom to them, right? Like we're talking about $100. It's pretty insignificant if it can generate for you a lead or do the work for you, right? It's not that much. It might seem like it, it's really not. Connected Claude through the MCP, you just go in, I think you're logged into Webflow, you connect the MCP, cool. Once you do that, you then now have direct access. It'll tell you when you go into Claude, you can start to prompt it and it'll say, open this link so we can connect to your Webflow. You'll open it up and it'll pop this little pop-up on Webflow and you'll see it says it's connected. Cool. Now, from there, I began customizing the page, telling it exactly what I wanted it to do. And I said, all right, here's the deal. I want this page to look like this, this, and this. Here's what we want to do. Let's make sure the color combinations are correct and everything. And like I said, I'm going to walk you through the visual prompts of what that looks like. So let's go through that now, and then I'll give you some final ending updates and things that I might have missed that I'm going to show you or talk to you about afterwards. Cool? Here we go. So here's the portion you've been waiting for. Let's talk about the actual web page and design. Ready? This is going to blow your mind. All of this, as we scroll quickly here, is completely AI-based. It is. It's all designed. And I'm going to show you, there might be one thing on here that's not AI-based, but that's what makes this so crazy. All right, let's start from the beginning. I'm going to walk you through this page, literally section by section. First off, when we start with this, just with the bar, again, this bar was kind of replicated from a lot of places that already had bars like this. My main thing was I no longer wanted to have all these different tabs. The name of the game for me was let's just have one page and have some functionality to it. If you click any one of these buttons, it scrolls to a section. If you look at that, I told it, hey, when I click about, can you scroll to this section that describes who I am? I prompted it. That's all the prompt I needed to give to it, okay? Did that for different ones. If you go to the services, hey, when they click service, it goes to the service section. Cool. Again, simple prompt. That's what it did. In the beginning here, it again used the design of a website that I was replicating from. And from that website, I was like, hey, let's make it similar to that in my colors. It went to my previous website, pull the information from there, copy. I also told Manus to go to my YouTube channel, like I told you before, to learn about my tone, my audience, to understand who I am. And it did that to, again, use that to create the copy. Now, when I was finally done with this, I said to Claude, can you review the copy, see if it sounds good, see if it needs to be cleaned up and is professional. And so anyway, again, this is all AI written, right? I obviously reviewed it and made sure it fits my tone correctly, but it's doing very well. And initially I had to create that tone. So if you don't have that tone and you don't have a website, there might be a little bit more of a learning curve there because you have to design and define what that is. But if you can find a website or a client or, a competitor that is similar to what you're already trying to accomplish, then it'll still be easy, right? It doesn't have to be hard. Like, hey, listen, this person also does roofing construction and I really like their website and design, and here's another company I really like, and here's their YouTube channel. I really like their tone. It kind of resonates with me. Could we use this as the fuel for the copy for my new website? Cool. Awesome. Next, on YouTube, I created a video. This video is just an introduction video. It just introduces myself, tells my clients what I'm trying to accomplish, and trying to basically tell them that they need to understand the clarity. This picture right here is completely AI generated. I used vidIQ. It's a great software that allows you to generate AI-based thumbnails, which uses your video to determine what you say in your video to create this. I gave it no instructions. I said, here's the video, make the AI thumbnail. That's what it did. Beautiful. I couldn't have made this myself. I'm going to be honest with you. This is phenomenal. Now, does that look like me? I hope so. Maybe a little bit. I'm biased here, but I think it looks really awesome and I really enjoy that. Throughout this, you'll see CTA buttons, call to action buttons. These are like book a discovery call, book a call, get the guide, and all these things. See how we can help. These buttons, I had asked it to make sure there's one per page. Follow the color scheme, and then let's make sure to add my Calendly link to anything that says book a call or learn more. That's all I did. I have a Calendly link that allows them to book a call, give me some information about their company, and that's it. Easy peasy. Where I got fun and got technical, where I was mentioning like the marquee, is these are clients I've worked with. So I got all their logos. Obviously their logos were not grayscaled. And I asked it to grayscale all their logos so I could put it into a marquee and have this beautiful view here that you see. So yeah, a simple prompt creates that. Awesome. Next, again, you can see these sections here, just a little break in the section, giving people a chance to have a check-in. If you have a good flowing page, you're trying to give multiple opportunities to that. This image here was created in Canva. I have a guide that I personally created that I actually did create. This was before AI was really strong, and I took my time to build this thing. And I wanted to have something free as a lead magnet for clients coming to my website, using the knowledge from interacting with my clients, coming up with like, what are a generic number, 6 things, 5 things. Everybody hears these numbers. What are the top 3 things? What are the top 5 things? So I came up with 6 really good ones. Little plug there if you want to click it, find out more. But anyway, get the guide. It creates a pop-up. I asked it to create this form pop-up. So yeah, this is exactly created by a prompt that says, hey, on the get the guide button, can you make sure there's a pop-up that allows it to put their name, email, and phone number in there, make it a requirement in order for them to get it. From there, it will take them to a download page, which I have over here. Let me just show you real quick. Your guide is ready, download the guide. They click this, and I've uploaded into Webflow the PDF guide that allows them to download it, right? All I did was tell Claude, can you make another page that they'll be able to use that follows the same color scheme and setup, that just has a download link? I've uploaded into the assets in Webflow, which you have here. These are all your assets. I've uploaded into their assets. Can you make it so that when they click that download link, they can have the PDF, right? One of the things I'm still working on is where does the information go from the form? You can have many options for that. Claude has advised me that I can create a Notion connector. I haven't messed with Webflow. I literally for 48 hours had some fun with this. And obviously we're not talking a straight 48 hours, but 2 days, casually sitting on the computer, probably 8 hours a day, working some on this, working in the business. So this wasn't this sole focus. You just need to be cognizant of that. So this is from a side enthusiast throughout regular workday. Cool. Next, this was, again, recommended as a as like a checkpoint for them, just to give an opportunity for them again to see if they just want to, like, now at this point work with us. This is an AI created image. Again, this is just for fun here. I hope I look as good as that guy up there. Maybe I look better, anyways. I'm biased. I've written some blog articles that have been featured in these. Just so you know, a lot of these companies nowadays, you can pay for your articles to be posted on their website. It's a great way to get some coverage, some contact, get your name out there. It's a useful tool, right? We know the SEO game speaks to that. Next, I have served this many clients throughout my career in the last probably 7 years. So I wanted to make sure that that was represented, give them some data, right? So on my original website, I had a counter that scrolled up. I'm going to make this into a counter. I haven't done it yet. I literally just have to tell Claude, hey, can you make this a counter where these end at the exact same time and start from 0? So as they scroll, it takes about 2 seconds or 1 second to go from 0 to these numbers. And it's going to do it, right? That's easy. Next, I had success stories from clients from before. So I asked it to add those here. We obviously have our Google reviews, so I asked it to put that snapshot in there. And then one of the things here was, see all the success stories is I have testimonial videos on here. So I asked it to make it so that when they click that, it takes them right to the testimonial videos, which they could also click from here, right? So anyway, just wanted that to be like, okay, let's see some more. They can actually see the real people, feel more connected to real testimonials that came from people. Next, we have this section called the Profit Maximizer. This is where I just wanted to show people what our different offerings are. We have our Essential, our Accelerator, and our Elite. And I told it, like, hey, the Accelerator is our most popular one. Like, how could we make that stand out? And it was like, we'll put in the most popular here. We'll give it a green hue so it pops a little bit more. AI advised that. Cool. Moving on from there. Also, all of the copy you see in here was originally pulled from my main website, and then I asked it if there's anything that needs to be cleaned up. Cool, add that too. So, yeah. Next, we're moving on to the testimonial section. I made this and said, hey, listen, I have a bunch of testimonials. I want to add 6 of them right now. I've got them on YouTube. I want to continue to bring my YouTube viewership up. And so I want to embed the YouTube videos, because if I embed them, then people will watch these videos. It helps my channel by getting views, rather than just upload a video and have it not be dual function. So this is great. So this is dual function. They can watch the video, also begin to have access to my channel, but also help my channel get viewership, right? Cool. So each one of these here is created in Canva. Each one of these front covers, I did that on purpose. I borrowed images from my clients' websites at their permission, based on doing review, like them leaving me video reviews, and created these awesome little things, right? So it took the snippets from some of the words that they said in the video, and it made these. I didn't ask it to do this. It did this, right? It had the videos, added the names, pretty wild. Anyway, moving on to this section here, this image, again, AI generated. I asked for professional headshots and asked it to, I uploaded like, I think 6 to, I don't know how many pictures of myself. It was a great way for it to kind of isolate in onto what I actually look like. You figure images where you're turned in different directions, videos, all these different things can help it make better images. This was the closest I found to actually looking similar to me. And so I asked it to make it more business casual with a blazer and a nice t-shirt, being friendly and inviting and allowing people to feel like this is a guy you can trust, right? Because you can. And yeah, and then this portion here was written by me, and then I asked the copy to just clean it up a bit, right? To give it more of that personal touch. Lastly, the finishing section, just one last time, a touch point on the funnel. If they're just having any doubts and they reach the bottom, you want to make sure the bottom has a chance for them to still book a call. This image is not AI based. This was an old image from a previous employer that paid for a professional headshot. I know this because I've since lost weight in that picture, and I can see that. So anyway, but yeah, so this is the website. As you can see, this was completely AI designed, prompted, all these different things. Like I said, originally the image it put in here automatically was it recycled this image. I uploaded this image to the assets and told it put it into like an egg circle. And I had to say to it like, hey, can you now put that into an egg circle? I don't like the look of that. And we haven't even used the egg circle once. Let's keep it a nice round circle. Let's put the image in there. Let's make sure it looks balanced. And when it did that, my head from the top of this thing it was like down here. So I said, hey, can we zoom in the image a little bit? The gap between my forehead and the top of the circle is like extremely large. I look tiny. It doesn't look good. And it fixed it. I explained it, I prompted it. And the last piece I want to leave you with here, before I get into explaining the more ways to help the AI with your personal website is images. Images, images, images. Take snippet images of the things you're trying to tell the AI to do. It will go so far. I cannot emphasize it enough, right? You'll hear me mention Lex Fridman in his podcast when he was talking to the guy Peter who created OpenClaw. He talked about the ways you can help it. Images is one of the ways he talked about you can help it. Sometimes it just can't understand what you're trying to accomplish. So take a snapshot. I have a Mac, it's Command-Shift-4, and it allows you to drag and create the box that you want to snip out from the page that you're looking at. So if you go like, hey, this is what it looks like, here's what I want it to look like, or here's the section I'm trying to tell you to fix, it will help you fix that so much easier. And there's going to be plenty of times where Claude is probably going to ask you for that anyway, because it's having trouble understanding if it can't accomplish what you're doing. Many times I took phone screenshots for the mobile to show it the issues I was having with mobile, like that it was scrolling all the way to the left or allowing it to zoom out, which didn't make any sense. And it found out it was the marquee problem bleeding over and out of the borders, right? So trust in images, all right? So I'll leave you with that. And this is how I made the website. Cool. So now that you've had a chance to see some of the designs and things that I've done, I actually want to just talk about prompting for a sec. Prompting is going to be key here. One thing I want to give you as some pro tips to finish with here. Now that you've seen how it works, you understand how you can connect it and mess around with it, I want to leave you with some of these key things. One, AI, if you prompt it to do a single task at a time, can usually function a lot easier, right? I have found in this experience with it that when I went, hey, can you update these 5 things? It didn't always do the 5 things easily, or it messed up 3 out of the 5. So instead I would say, hey, can you just fix this on the mobile version? For example, on my mobile version, I was having trouble. It would like zoom out or allow me to scroll left and show this blank white space. The reason it was happening is because the marquee that I showed you was running outside of the borders of what was being shown on the mobile version. So when I prompted it to do that task with other tasks, it was really struggling to understand. So you take your time with it. Other thing that is so valuable to know, and not everyone knows this, and it was funny because I was listening to the podcast between Lex Fridman and the guy Peter who created OpenClaw, and he was talking about like, if you actually prompt AI to do things and say things like, hey, you're an expert Webflow designer, and I want you to take your time and make sure this is built correctly. That little prompt goes a long way in being able to tell AI, like, it's so silly, right? But it's true. And the guy Peter was talking about that. He's like, if you prompt it, he's like, you wouldn't think that that would help it, but it does, right? I've had times where I've said to it, hey, go line by line inside of the code and make sure everything functions as it's supposed to, right? After it's told me everything's already good to go, don't worry about it. And it does what I just said. And it's like, oh, shoot, we got this wrong, this wrong, this wrong. We need to fix these things. So give those kind of cool prompts to it. Like, hey, you're an expert Canva designer and I need to have an image that includes my logo and this and this. So go into Canva and create something that will allow both my design to look good, whatever, right? It's just helpful. So being able to understand those prompts is going to go a long way of being able to help these designs go a long way. Ask the AI questions. Make sure to, and when I say ask AI questions, like explain to it what you're trying to do, and then ask it what might be like the best way to do that. And it'll give you options, right? There's not always one clear instructional way to do things. So make sure sometimes to ask AI the questions and see what it can kind of do and poke back and forth like you're having a conversation. It sounds also silly to me, but if you're not AI used to it, check it out, right? Secondly, the explanation of what you're trying to accomplish when you give it the task can be very helpful in telling AI what this needs to do. When I created that marquee, like I said, I was like, hey, here's a bunch of logos. I need them in grayscale, and here is where I want to put them. Now, can you make sure it goes across the screen nice and smoothly, they're even, because I want this to be something that just looks really fancy and yada, yada, yada. You're explaining to it the function, right? Like if it understands sometimes the beginning and the end of what it's trying to do, it will make it be better at serving you with that function. So make sure to prompt it in that regard, right? It is just super helpful. So yeah, I mean, obviously, all these things are kind of the keys to success with working with AI is learning how to communicate with it. It goes, like I said, a long way. So take your time, like you would tell AI, have some patience. And if you're new to this, it might, again, take a month, it might take a few days. As an experience, like I said, in 48 hours, I made a landing page that was absolutely stunning. You'll get the link and the access to mess around with it. And from there, you'll be able to see what you can come up with. So, yeah, hopefully this video helps make a website for you or just teaches you something new about AI that you didn't already know. And leave some comments down below. I'd love to know ways that you've used it, maybe that it's helped your business, or if you have questions and something isn't quite clear in this thing and I might be able to help, let me know. And I will try to do my best to make sure that we'll get that answered for you and see if we can help you. Otherwise, I'm Joe Siegel, founder of Greenlight Financial. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you ever need CFO fractional advising, CFO services to help grow your business, reach out. We're here to help. We're great at reading spreadsheets. We're great at reading your financials. And it's not just AI based, it's human based. And there's still an element to that, which is, I think, extremely valuable. So human interaction at least once a month, sometimes weekly, depending on what your needs are. But let us know. Thanks, and I hope you enjoyed this video.